Friday Feedback, a YouTube special with Kyle, Ceruti, and potentially Wargon here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Get your mic up, kid. And look, we have some emails. Some are good. Some are okay. This is a common theme. I feel like we have to do this every few months. Maybe I don't even read these anymore. Podcast timestamps. 6:245. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, why does the time on the app never match the actual time? So we have to listen to ads. Not you. 100% of the pods I listen to, you, Simmons, PMT are garbage. Are you garbage?
Yeah, that's a show.
Oh, that's a show? I thought he was calling.
I was like, damn, I don't like that tone.
Yeah, that's a show.
Yeah. All right. Well, then he says he loves us. So, guys,
we covered this.
We have.
I think it's a Spotify versus Apple thing.
They're dynamically inserted. However, right, there is a possibility that things will change in the future, right? But because right now the way we do ads is dynamically inserted. So we put a point where the ads go. Ryan reads a bunch of ads, and then they get cycled through. So some ads are 90 seconds long, some ads are 60 seconds long, some ads are 45 seconds. So it's just hard to tell where the next segment's going to start. And that's just, we can give you a ballpark. It's the best we can do.
I never understood what it was. And then I would listen to podcasts and then listen to some timestamps or try to line it up. And then I think you could correct it in 3 to 4 seconds.
Yes.
And I was like, this is what people are bitching about?
Yes. It's true.
But
it's genius. The reason we do it is great because you think I've used this example. It's not like let's say somebody famous like passes away or something happens and you're like, oh, I'm going to go listen to that 2020 interview that Bill has with this guy. And instead of listening to the 2020 Tacoma ad, you hear an ad that's relevant. So it's like, it makes the whole back catalog, like, I guess, profitable and more relevant from an ad perspective too. So it makes sense why we do it.
I feel like ads in general kind of suck for a lot of reasons, but like, have you ever been on YouTube when like you're just watching something like a middle of a point, all of a sudden it just hard cut, and it's like these are like popular videos that I'm like, we haven't figured out a better way to put ads in these things yet.
Imagine if I were in the middle of just a sizzler of a take.
Yeah, we at least wait till the end of the segment. Come on, could be worse.
Yeah, it's free too, isn't it? So,
I think it's just one of those things. Listen on Spotify.
There are greater challenges. Why did somebody have to die for Kyle to make his point?
I'm just trying to think. Why would you want to go back? Why would you want to go back to listen to something from 3 years ago unless it's like, oh, I like that guy. Wonder what he was talking about on Bill's Pod or something.
Well, it does help for like 60 songs, right? If you're going through the catalog, Harvilla's Pod. You know what I'm talking about? Like if you go back and want to listen to a certain song that he did 3 years ago, then you're going to get an ad that's more relevant.
Yes.
For
zero songs to explain the aughts. An invitation to Indiana. Which date did this come through? Well, it's only a few days ago. Russillo Roots' nephew Kyle in Wargon is a longtime listener, one-time Frolic Room visitor during IU's road game at UCLA last season. I've been sad to see my beloved Hoosiers caught in the crossfire of Ryan's feud with conference and playoff expansion. To help mend this unnecessary divide, I'd like to invite you to the great state of Indiana for either a live show or simply a relaxing vacation in the heartland. I've come up with 3 half-baked ideas. Shout out to Kevin Wilds. Invade the McAfee show. Not sure if this is feasible due to relationships with the worldwide leader or any history of Pat, but it could be an entertaining crossover. Live show in Bloomington, hosted before the game, choosing bonus points. We have nearby hotels and an airport with direct flights. It might mean more in the SEC, but here in the Midwest, we do have modern infrastructure. Live show in Westfield, Indiana, a bit out there, but hear me out. You could broadcast during the Live Tour stop next summer. So yeah, he said he actually could make it happen. I've been. Tom Crean had us out when it was the 2011 Super Bowl. We were in Indianapolis for however many days. Back then, ESPN used to send us out there for 1 million days. And we went out. We went to an IU game. I think they set us up like a foldable table. They just made a table for like me, Stanford Steve, Van Pelt. I think Ray Netchie might have been with us too. And it was awesome. Awesome
Assembly
experience.
Hall's sick.
Great experience. However, with the way some Indiana fans have reacted and they still won't shut the fuck up after losing to Notre Dame just because other teams lose because your team got in on a clerical error, I will not be doing a live show.
Wound is still
And that's directed at the Indiana fans that like it's been over for 2 weeks, guys. It's been over for 2 weeks. Just because Oregon had a bad first half and look, they got smoked in that game. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you.
I would say perhaps a fourth idea. Mark Titus has been putting a hard sell on the Indy 500 for me for years. I heard that's like an incredible time. So there's like two reasons I would want to go to Indiana would be Bloomington because the bar scene is great and Assembly Hall's cool. So a game and then out afterward would be fun. And then also I'd like to check out what the Indy 500 is all about.
You strike me as more of a Daytona guy.
Never been to either. I've been to one race. It was actually terrible. It was that thing they were doing at the LA Coliseum. And it's like the cars couldn't go more than, I don't know, like 50 miles an hour because it's so small. It was like it was a new age NASCAR event they were trying. It was awful. But I'd like to see the real thing.
Wargon fired up the camera. Do we have some race facts, buddy?
No. Back to Indiana. I called the game there for the student radio station at Penn State 2014. So we're the opposing student radio station. They put us on the roof of the Indiana football stadium. And like we're the only ones up there. You look to the right and there's this little shack. And we ask someone, we're like, what's the deal with this little shack on the roof? They're like, oh, that's like John Mellencamp's. We're like, why does he want to be on the roof? They were like, well, you can't drink in the stadium. So like he comes up here and he can drink whenever he wants.
That's awesome, dude.
The Cougar.
Yeah.
His
dad was up there just pounding beers. It was great.
That's awesome.
I think you can drink there now in the Big Ten.
I think so.
But back then you couldn't.
What a fact.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Were you hoping to be a play-by-play guy at some point,
Never.
Oregon?
No, I wanted the trip though. I wanted the trip. So I was really into going. And I was like closing out the broadcast. I had the headset on and his dad just comes up and starts talking to me. Mellencamp's dad. And I'm like trying to like talk to him, but also like doing the broadcast at the same time. It was great.
That doing that just for the trip really aligns with your airport lounges thing, right? Like I want the drinks. I want the free martini. I like it.
All right. Shout out to the Ceruti said. What a great Cougar drop right in the middle of all of that. All right. Your mint takes are absurd. Just wanted to let Kyle and Ceruti know their mint take is fucking atrocious, all caps. Mint desserts are the absolute best. Mint Mousse Tracks ice cream.
Right, who can trust you if they're the best?
And is up there with chocolate. Yeah, that's the thing. Is I think you ruined it by saying that mint desserts are the best because I'm not doing that. Yeah, I just think that some mint chocolate chip ice creams never hurt anybody. And you two guys despise it.
I would just
take
it or leave it. I would just leave it. I don't hate it. I would leave it. I'm not gonna be that's what you're serving tonight. I just wouldn't have. I was like, no, thanks. I'm done. I'll just have coffee.
What's your go-to flavor, Kyle?
I'm a regular chocolate. We're talking ice cream or just dessert in general?
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Ice cream,
I don't know. Probably chocolate. Mix it up with some stuff in it, but I'm easy to please. I don't want to get too weird. I actually like a vanilla ice cream too.
Sounds like you need accessories.
Sure. I mean, dude, Ben and Jerry's, they'll dress up some chocolate ice cream. Ben and Jerry's, they know what they're doing.
Okay. What's your favorite dessert, Ceruti?
I get made fun of a lot because, I'm a 36 now? I don't even know how old I am. Year-old male. And I don't really like regular cake. So I get like the football Carvel cake for every birthday that I have. Like
love ice cream cake.
Like I'm a 6-year-old, but that ice cream cake is so good. Speaking of chocolate, just chocolate milk, but it's like the little crumbly things too, and the fudge on top. It's the best dessert. Like I don't care that it makes me, maybe I'm 12, maybe you think I'm 12, but it just is better than regular cake. Although I did have a Tres Leches cake New Year's Eve. Oof. 10 out of 10.
Whoa. Little Tres Leches.
Mm. It's good stuff.
It's kind of like a wet cake, right?
It's very wet. But in a good way.
Sounds terrible. Getting into
Well,
Italian ice again. Luigi's Italian ice. That's really nice. Lemon. Really nice.
Especially when you turn it over, get to that stuff in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That extra layer of syrup. Yeah. All right. Let's
Wargon,
go.
you got anything here before we move on?
I told you I'm in on mint, man.
That's it.
Favorite
though?
dessert,
We're talking
Maybe not
favorite
like
dessert.
A1. I love like a key lime pie.
Why is that funny?
I don't know.
It's funny that he
That's-
said that to me. I don't know. It wasn't on anyone's list.
It's the
Nowhere
right
near.
choice. It's on my list.
Okay.
I was hoping my co-hosts were going to ask me. We were going to do a little throw it around,
Well, I thought you would
But
just say.
nobody
I didn't know you needed to be asked, dude.
Well, sometimes I guess want you guys to
It's nice to be asked.
rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, I key lime pie would be my pick, so I'm right there with Wargon.
Wow.
Yeah.
And by the way, Handel's, is it Handel's or Handles? There's an ice cream place out here that has key lime ice cream, and it is insane how good it is.
I've had some great key
So-
lime pies. Just wouldn't put it up there. At the top of my list.
Not a fan. I don't like pie.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's
All right.
you lost me
Moving
What's
now.
up with
Now
you
you're
guys?
on an island because I love pie.
It's not that I won't eat pie. If I did have to eat a pie, it'd be pecan pie. But I don't know. Not a big like, baked fruit guy.
Let's get out of this. I feel like our Q scores are going
It's
down with
baked
everyone.
fruit?
I don't like baked fruit. I don't really like baked fruit.
Have you had a key lime pie before?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Typically,
baked
pie is
fruit?
like cherry, apple.
Oh,
all right,
Typical pie.
blueberry. I typically
Yes.
don't like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Apple pie I could deal with.
Yeah, come on.
But
Who doesn't?
Not my favorite.
If people weren't mad at you,
But I need
mint
ice cream. With
taste.
it. I need
Yeah.
I need vanilla ice cream on top of it.
Like, how's Friday feedback on their YouTube page? The last one wasn't great. How many ovens does one man need? Hey, fellas, maybe it's something you need living solo in Manhattan Beach, but can Ryan lend any insight into why it looks like there are up to 4 what appear to be ovens over his shoulder in the kitchen? Go, cats, go. All right.
It does.
It's 2 ovens, the microwave, coffee maker that I've never used. That's it. It's
You
2
got
ovens.
like an espresso thing in there? Like a built-in
Yeah,
espresso thing?
apparently it's unbelievable. I've never used it once.
Oh. Break that thing out. Homemade
Ooh.
espresso is the best. Speaking of desserts, affogato is the best dessert.
What?
Yeah.
Affogato?
Should I look that up?
Avocados?
No, not avocado. I'm not Tom
That seems
Brady.
pretty standard.
No, affogato is it's a shot of espresso you pour over vanilla ice cream. It's incredible.
The best dessert, he says.
It actually is the best dessert. Yeah.
Sounds like next
I
time we'll go
remember-
there, espresso martinis all around.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it. Let's go.
You guys think the last visit was bad? You guys would be looking at that machine. Ceruti's gonna be like, "Hey, let's get this thing fired up." Like, don't
I
know how to
will do
use
it.
it. Never used it. I have 2 ovens. I think 2 ovens is very standard for some homes. Some of
It's
the more
standard for
modern.
guys with money. Totally.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't. I've used one. I don't use the other. I don't have baked goods going along with a roast. The other's
do
a
you bake?
microwave. What do I
Like,
bake?
what food do you bake? Can't see.
The
using that
funny thing is I had a really big cooking phase where when I was living in Connecticut, I had a stretch there where like every couple of weeks I would print out a recipe while I was leaving ESPN. I would go to the gym, then I'd go over to Whole Foods. I'd pick out and I would see if I could do it. I was really into it. And then I just stopped. I don't know. I stopped being into it.
I'm into it.
So
I'll end up leaving a grocery store with like, that was an $80 meal? What the fuck? Can you
know.
make stuff with stuff you already have? Like, all right,
No.
gotta get some cardamom. That's $7. Fucking crushed seeds or whatever.
are these the right leeks?
right.
You know? Like, I don't know. Do I need leeks? I don't think I do. But in the soup, you probably do.
Yeah, potato leek soup. Made that. Definitely
Yeah.
need the leeks.
That's good.
Um,
love that soup.
Yeah.
I'm
So
making
what do I
roast
bake
lately.
now? I don't know. Sometimes I'll do some kind of chicken thing, but then I realize like you like it when you grill it 100 times out of 100. So why are you doing it this way? I don't cook as much as I used to. I used to cook a lot, and I was like, super into it, trying different things. And then if I didn't get it right, I'd be like, okay, what did I get wrong? I'd go back to it. Those days are long gone for whatever reason. Maybe it's the NBA.
I've been making my
You know,
own
it's a
roast
great-
beef lately. It's been really nice. I'm just working on my
Making your own?
Yeah, and then I just can't get it sliced as thin as I want. But I'm not like a deli slicer guy, so
Buy one.
that's not something. That's not. I don't got room for a deli slicer, man.
I would love to know that you had a deli slicer on the counter, fully
I can see Kyle
operational.
getting really into it. Yeah,
Dude, I'm already pretty
it's got
into
3
it.
speeds.
I gotta tell you,
Some people say they like cured meats. Do you?
I did see somebody that was like, one of those stupid Instagram hacks. It's like, if you buy a meat slicer and you buy this 2-foot long piece of cheese, you could have cheese for 2 years. Like, yeah, but like that's not practical. Like,
yeah,
God, we've gone over this. Homemade roast beef though, that's kind of sick. I will say my go-to thing I bake, and it's like the easiest thing in the world, and you have leftovers and makes your house smell really good. Buy a chuck roast, like a 3-pound chuck roast, salt and pepper that thing, throw it in a pan, like oven 300 for like 6 hours. It makes your house smell incredible, and you have leftovers for like.
I would suggest a little rosemary with that too. Try that next
rosemary
time.
Would be good. Yeah, it's fancy.
Nice work. Look at you guys. Prep. It's like you're his sous chef right now. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
they put a lot of ovens. The last 2 houses I've been in, maybe the last 3 places, they went double ovens in it.
See a blender there too. I'm sure that gets put to good use.
The blender is used a lot. So there you go. Okay. Harmonica vindication. So 5'7", 165, bench 150. All right. Jose Alvarado, scrappy gremlin, small guy who can't shoot, also a white Puerto Rican. All right, so our guy's a white Puerto Rican. In one of your asides from these past few months, you had this whole spiel about seeing Bono play harmonica and giving him unwarranted praise for him being able to play a few notes well. The crowd went bananas because he blew in on the harmonica a couple times during, I think, a rattle and hum session. In your analysis, you mentioned how you had picked up the instrument previously and remarked that after some time you figured out how to make certain note combinations sound good. I write to let you know that this is how practicing a skill works, especially a musical one. Non-instrument players assume that it takes some divine knowledge to figure out how to play one well. In reality, it just takes time and dedication. It is true that a diatonic harmonica may make the music learning process simplified because it can only play in 2 keys per harp. That being said, playing the harmonica in a way that sounds good to the ears is not necessarily easier than picking up another instrument. In music theory, there's a thing called the pentatonic scale, in which almost any combination of notes in the scale can be considered good on the ears. Any instrument can learn this.
Come on.
And most pop stars literally just use this in their solos. It is not necessarily an essay on the harmonica that is easy to sound good in the harp. I've also attached a link to songs that use the same chord progression, just a different key. Kyle, I'll forward you this. The breath may surprise you. It is not as hard as we think to make music sound good. We can all do it, but commitment and gusto is required. Here's what I can tell you. I taught myself how to play the harmonica when I was a teenager. I am trying to teach myself how to play the guitar now. They are so different as far as the challenge. All right. If you have a decent ear and understand time a little bit, and you have a couple go-to moves in the harmonica, you can literally be impressive to an audience that has no fucking idea how easy it is within weeks. And this was the New Zealand rant, I believe. I think there was a harmonica rant within the New Zealand travelogue, because I felt like I came from an educated place of teaching myself how to do it and then realizing how incredibly unimpressive it was, which you could say mirrors some of my career achievements. Now teaching myself how to play guitar the last couple of years, it is, and I spent a majority of the time on this finger picking style that was definitely harder and more advanced, but then trying to do some of that stuff and learn the electric thing, the muting alone. They don't tell you that, kids. When you're rocking Van Halen, they don't teach you about all the muting and stuff, where you're not only playing scales and figuring out where it fits on the fretboard. And I can understand time on the fretboard, you start to figure some stuff out. Pentatonic scale, already know it, all over it. A lot of Allman Brothers stuff goes back to it. All right. So like there's these moments where you're unlocking something going, oh my God, this makes sense. I expect the note to sound like this. I'm anticipating what the next note is going to sound like because you're spending. But between all the different combinations of things you can do, and on top of electric, trying to make sure the muting throughout playing, whether you're muting with your strumming hand or muting with the fat of a finger playing on a string that's not even actually the note that you want to play, they're two entirely different fucking universes. All right. And I've taught myself, I'm not a guitar player. I can play a couple songs in the style that I wanted to. So I appreciate your email and I know what you're trying to do, but it's hard to come at me with this when I've attempted to play both instruments. And when there's moments with the guitar where you're like, are you kidding? That's what the guy's doing? Other than John Popper, because that's a whole nother level of harmonica. You could give me a 6-pack of Coors Light and tell me what time we start on a Friday. And I could be at a dive bar in Atlanta and I could bang out 2 songs and you would think I was like awesome. And I haven't played the thing in 20 something years.
Yeah, I think there's levels to this instruments. Like my daughter has like one of those like 8-key xylophones, that you just kind of bang on.
Skipping the recorder.
Skip the recorder. Yep. You have some downtime. You're playing around with her. I taught myself how to play Noel because it's very simple. It's a key progression. At no point was I like, hey, I'm going to go on tour now. Like I figured out music. There's just levels to this. I feel like the harmonica. Like yeah, I'm sure there's like a more advanced way to play any instrument.
Of course there is. Sure,
but it's like there's
right.
the entry level into a harmonica. It's just easier than most other instruments. So I don't know.
And as somebody that played it all the years of watching a guy come out and blow a few lines on the harp, it's a crowd pleaser. The amount of talent you have to have versus reward, there may not be a bigger gap in any performance. All right. Just the appreciation of just a guy just railing that moment on a harmonica. And you're like, man, this is some honky tonk in here.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you got, Wargon?
Holy shit. I love Ceruti's honky tonk yell. That was amazing.
Yeah. Listen, every once in a while, surprise you.
Ceruti, your guy Chalamet trained with a harmonica coach for 5 years for the Bob Dylan movie.
Well, years.
Seems like a long time.
He didn't need to. It could have been 5 days. That's such bullshit. I'm calling. This is the first. That's it. Chalamet was at the peak. This is the first moment he's on the other side of it because this Chalamet run was unsustainable. There was no way he could be this popular, this high approval. I want to read that article. Wargon, forward that to me immediately. That is absolute horseshit that he spent 5 years training to play the harmonica for this role. I do not believe that.
Theoretically, you could spend 5 years, what do you do? Like an hour every month? Like for 5 years? Yeah, like maybe. I don't know.
That's a good point.
He did train though to sing. Like I believe he did have.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like I don't think the guy's full of shit. Like I think he actually did do some training to be Bob Dylan. Haven't seen the movie yet. Heard it's good. Heard he did well. But
it's okay.
Okay. I heard the movie was okay, but he was good, right?
He was good. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
The Magic Lost by Paolo had 30.
Well, not quite that, but yes.
All right. I don't think there's anything else to add to that one.
I got nothing.
Yeah. I don't know if that guy's going to love that or not. I just can't fathom. And I'm not guessing. I've tried. Did we already do this one? The willingness for Kyle and Ceruti to have their wives come on the show?
Yeah.
We already did that, right?
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
I threw it out there. I think Maddie would do it, but I don't know that I'd want her.
Dude,
to
I thought we were a united front on this. Okay.
I don't know that I want her to do it though. So maybe it's.
I don't think you want to do it. Okay. We had a couple of emails that are from newer Toronto listeners, and they want to know why I don't like the Raptors fan base. Again, anytime it's about a fan base, let's all just accept it. It doesn't mean it's everyone. Okay. There's fan bases I cannot stand. And I know that it doesn't mean every single person that roots for that team is a terrible person. However, the Raptors history goes back a few years ago where we were talking about how, I don't know what I just did word-wise there, but I combined two. We were talking about Kyle Lowry. All right. And he's going to make the Hall of Fame. because everybody makes the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. And I would like the Basketball Hall of Fame to have this entry level tier just not be in it. And to me, like Kyle Lowry's a nice player. He's got the title. Who knows? I hope this doesn't get stirred all up again. I said he is going to make it, but like he, to me, is the kind of player, like in the NFL, he would not make the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In baseball, he wouldn't make to the Baseball Hall of Fame, but basketball puts everybody in, so he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But at no point did I ever feel like, oh, he is one of the best players at his position. And I know people are going to go look at his assist numbers here and look at all this different stuff, whatever. He was abysmal in the playoffs for multiple years on top of everything else, but he's going to get in. For whatever reason, he got picked up by some weird crew out of Toronto, and they went at me in a way that I've never, in 20 years of doing this, have ever experienced anything like it. Like sexual assault jokes about relatives, and just like not just shithead guys, but like normal people. Like normal people, when you would see their profile, there was like one kid who like played soccer at a college and was just saying the most vicious stuff ever. And I'll usually DM him like once a year, just saying, "What's up, man? Still thinking about you." So
Forget about this
picked one
Yeah.
guy. That's funny.
Yeah, I just picked one guy. I'm haunting him the rest of his fucking life. So the point is I was sick to my stomach, fam. I mean, it was just
Jesus Christ.
it was this awful group of Raptors fans that went so far and beyond. And like, look, here's another example. Like, I don't know. I know why Toronto does it. Like every fan base that feels like the media doesn't like them has to come up with a reason other than just like, maybe I don't think your team is as good. It's usually what it is. And Toronto, whenever they're the aggrieved party, it's always, oh, it's an American thing. But then it's like, okay, but what's your counter to the American teams or the cities or the fan bases that I don't like that specific year? Right? Like I wasn't the biggest Houston guy there for a bunch of years. What's more American than Houston, an urban sprawl? But if I don't like the Raptors for a couple of years, it's because I'm threatened by the foreign nature of where they're. So all of it's always wrong and usually pretty stupid. And this victim thing of like, oh, we're the non-American team, so everybody and whatever. And so like when I picked the under this year, fire up the Raptors whistles. A bunch of different Raptors blogs, media members, different people like, oh, classic American arrogance, taking the under on the Raptors. Like, or I do this for a living and I don't love your roster. Could it be that? Could it be that?
You were a little harsh in the over-unders pod. I think rightfully so, but there was a little, because what was the line you had? What are they doing? What are the Raptors doing, basically?
Well, it was about how they were
roster?
spending the four max slots, not 4 max contracts, but like their 4 highest paid guys. The 3 guys this year, the 4 guys next year. It's like, man, that's a lot of money wrapped up in those kinds of guys. And so it always, when it's the Raptors, it's never about basketball. These are the same criticisms that I have said about numerous other American franchises all the time, but they're so narcissistic and caught up in the culture of like a border that they think that I'm incapable of just looking at a basketball team and having a thought on their players, which again, this is basically all I fucking do with my life. And it becomes like this whole other thing with them in a way that no other city ever responds. So yes, I cannot stand their fans, the ones that act that way, not the ones that are totally normal and completely understand it and realize this summer their team probably wasn't going to be very good either. So yeah, there's a little backstory for you.
To your point, I think almost every fan base in any sport has this group. So it's just, I have gotten into it. Raptors fans too. A lot of it goes back to the 2001 draft. But 2021 draft. Yeah, sorry. I always screw that up. The annoying thing is like, so I'm obviously, I'm one of like 2 or 3 Magic fans anybody knows. Magic Twitter has pissed me off recently because there's been times when like, because I'm not like as much of a hardo homer, like I made a comment when Bill asked me about it on his pod like months ago about like Franz and the shooting, and I was like, yeah, a little disappointing. I like him to be better, and Suggs has been better, Paolo's been better, but he's not better. A lot of people that get mad about that, and they're like, hey, look at this 6-game sample size at the beginning of the year. He's shooting 35%, dude. Want to take that back? And you're like, you're a fan. Like, you're supposed to be, I'm not anti you. So it's every fan base, man. It's just like some of these, I don't know. Raptors fans have definitely like taken and latched onto you for sure.
Yeah, and I haven't really. I mean, whatever it was like people didn't even know who I was, and it just ended up in some Toronto thing. And it's from this part of Toronto too that I don't even think. Like, I think people from Toronto are like, "Yeah, that's a weird area."
I didn't know. I don't know the different factions of Toronto.
22.
What was that?
draft,
What was
by the
that
way.
accent you did? I didn't know what
That was that girl, the insufferable girl from Toronto. That was pretty good, actually. Like,
I haven't seen this. Okay.
If you weren't planning to do that, I got to say, that everyone who knows that will know what you're talking about. So nice job by you.
What do I need to look up to know this?
I think her name's
Maybe
Plush.
the audience too.
Plush.
I can wait because it's the worst accent you're ever going to hear in your entire life.
Oh boy,
It's
Instagram.
I don't know what it is that she's doing. I guess I could probably guess at what she's blending in there
Yeah.
or trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Can you just Google horrible woman Toronto accent and it's going to come up?
I googled plush Toronto and Miss Big Moves, the official plush. Is that
Yeah,
how I'm
that's
looking
it.
for?
I don't
You
even-
got her. You got
Oh,
her.
is it? Do you want to listen to the audio?
Oh,
Is this the
Kyle
first?
follows her.
I do. I just need to hear her talk more.
Okay, when we play something here, I'll just pick something random.
There's one that's like the moneymaker.
Yeah, there's the one that she's been
You
eating
hear
off
that?
of, like the Hawk Tua girl. Like that's the video, right? I can't hear it, but probably get demonetized if we do.
I clicked when she was rapping, so I don't know if she's a
Oh
rapper.
well,
No,
Dude.
that's not it.
Okay.
No. Just type in Toronto accent, sick to my stomach, fam.
Sick.
All right.
Oh
This
man,
is good.
this is not good.
the Toronto
First thing that
accent
came up
already
was
has
a parent road rage accent. I'll do this off air. This is fine.
Text us, let me know.
I
Yeah.
kind of wanted your live reaction. Kyle, can you find it in a second and send it to
Yeah.
Ceruti?
Sick
This
to
feels
my
like the Joe
stomach.
Rogan show right now.
Jamie,
Hey,
pull that
Jamie,
up.
can you get that video? It's good
Toronto
content.
accent girl makes me okay. Oh, is this it? I might have found it.
Oh, she did it. She's done a freestyle. She's flooded it now. There's a freestyle with "Sick to My Stomach" because that's how this stuff works.
Does she have a coin coming out soon?
I found
Dude.
it. Yo, you're sick to my stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one of those podcasts where like the OnlyFans people go on and they just argue? That's what it looks like, at least. You ever seen those?
I don't know.
We
She's
should
up
do
to a
one of
lot
those.
stuff
How come we
now.
don't have one of those at Ringer, Ceruti? It's like an OnlyFans forum. Just Bill in
Yeah,
the
it's
middle of it. You're like,
Yeah.
so it was in an Airbnb, and that's why we don't Airbnb. Hey, Ceruti, can you give me one more honky tonk yell on the way out of here?
Oh, I can't do it like out of nowhere. All right, hold on. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
That one
really
wasn't as
good.
Wasn't as
No,
good.
it was expected as opposed to the other one wasn't because we used to do a thing with our roommates where it was like concert yells, and it was exactly that. It was like a Leonard Skinner guy, like walking in, jean shorts, just feeling himself, parking
Jean
lot
shorts.
into the venue. And we had one of our roommates that used to just give out this like Steve Miller band, like Howl, and it was great. And then he would just do it. We'd be at bars and we'd be like, do your Steve Miller. And then
Jesus.
another guy had a Leonard Skinner. And people would just look around and be like, what the fuck are those guys doing? And boy, did we laugh and was fun had. Memories.
You guys
Try
should
to
get a golf
build
simulator.
some. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Probably the worst one we've ever done. Thanks to Ceruti, Kyle, and Wargon. That was Friday feedback. A YouTube edition special. Exclusive.
No, it's gonna be in the pod too. We'll tack it on to the.
Oh, is it?
We'll tack it on to the. We'll tack it on to
Boy.
the Georgia stuff and the. And
That
your
makes it
bigger
even
college
worse.
football thing.
Okay.
Nah, it's
All
fine.
right.
It was
Not
originally going to be a YouTube only, but you know what? We added a bonus pod today. So
Originally, we were only going to do two pods, so we got bonus content, so it doesn't even have to be good. All right. Thank you for all of the support. Happy New Year, everybody listening. Bye.